Hey guys, it is me, Kisame Limited.
And it's me. I'm not texting somebody 24.
And in this video, I'm going to be tackling my top 10 proudest moments in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wow, I would love to hear this list. I'm very interested now. So don't forget to like this video and you can hear his and comment down some of yours.
A long time ago, when I was a teenager, I had a duel with my friend John in a park where he summoned Big Core. And that duel stood out to me so much because I remembered me and him are in this big open area wearing duel discs. And he was like, I summoned Big Core. And I'm like, I summoned Horse level 6. And it's like, and there are, guys that are like playing handball in the handball court. And I'm just like,
and y'all do this?
Yeah. You know what it is with me? I think that was like a time frame where I had no shame. Living as if I was in Yu-Gi-Oh! Itself. And that duel where he summoned Big Core and it's like, my card is invincible because it has these 3 counters. Now you have to destroy it 3 times before it to like...
Yeah.
And even, obviously Big Core didn't do that. But like, at this point we were kind of still like making up our own rules as we went on. And that duel really just stood out to me because it was just the environment. Taking in that whole like atmosphere meant so much to me. This isn't, I want to say, a definitive moment in history, but I had a very rocky teenage life where I had, my parents were splitting up and I had just a very rocky home life. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Was always kind of like my antidepressant. That kind of like always got me through everything. So I'm just kind of categorizing this as like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was able to get me out of so many emotional and like, keep in mind, I'm also obviously a gay man. And I was also...
Obviously.
And I was going through the process, because when I first met him, I didn't even come out to him. I didn't come out until I want to say I was like 17.
There were signs.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was like... So what happened as well was, like, I felt like Yu-Gi-Oh! Was definitely like, I want to say a good like distraction. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was always the thing that kind of like got me out of so many funks. And anytime I was ever in a funk, I was like, distract myself, just play Yu-Gi-Oh! And that, I said got me out of so many things.
As I was growing up, my parents and me couldn't communicate because they were always on different channels.
Finish those vegetables, Bradley. They smell good.
And you're not going to be excused until you do.
Forget y'all.
Well, that's it, mister.
All across the land, there's no need to argue. Parents just don't understand.
Number 8 for me goes to my full-on nostalgia with this man. This goes into Double Blaze Cannon.
Activate Blaze Cannon!
This goes into our fusion versions of our 2 master decks. This goes into, I would also say, like pool, like table duels, like back in John's basement.
For more of those are in the History of Underground series that we'll be continuing at another time. So if you want, we have one video like that, so you can go in the playlist and you can find that where we talk about how we met, and then we talk about stories from our childhood that weren't on camera that like built the friendship that you see on camera.
I have and had amazing rivals in this game. I've had you, I've had my cousin, John, Reggie. It's like I've had a good track record of rivals that have kept me on my toes, kept me interested in this game, because nothing I feel like is more than having someone that you respect in the game, go toe-to-toe with skill level-wise, and feel like you're like neck and neck with this person. It makes you feel like you don't want to ever like stop like,
Yeah, because you two make each other better. It's very like, I think especially with me and you, it's been more like the Goku Vegeta thing, where there's moments where you've won or you've like got to a transformation first, or you've gotten to certain points first before me, and like me going back and forth. But like clearly in the beginning, it was way more of like a clear line of separation. That gap has been closed and has now been like there's certain years where he's clearly better than me. There's certain years where I'm clearly better than him. I think right now where we're at, it just depends on who's more focused in the game. That's who's typically better.
Meeting the voice actors and getting into contact with a good chunk of them.
Oh, for you personally?
Yes, for me personally, because like I've met like Dan Green, I've met Eric Stewart, I met like Pegasus, I've met like Raphael's voice actor, I met like Bakura's voice actor. I met so many people that were just genuinely like such nice people, and for having a game, like having a face to the actor, like, you know, like sometimes to me it's like so mind-blowing. And to have like my collection where I have a lot of these signed autograph cards from these people, I feel like is such like gives me like such like a warm feeling in my heart, being like, I can't believe that I have something like this and I met you on top of it. So I would say that is my solid number 6.
Okay.
Hey, Anthony, how are you? It's Mark. I got your cards, and I just signed them. So your card should be arriving soon. Guardian Eatos.
My duel with him where I got Jinzo. Now he'll think
I thought that was incorporated into all my moments with him. I'm all right, Jinzo's in there. He didn't mention it. He gave me some grace. I'm gonna
say this. In that moment, to me, it wasn't about like me beating him. It was more that it was my moment where I became his equal. Because like for me, I didn't walk away from that game and be like, yeah, now I'm better than you. Nothing like that. For me, it was just like, I don't know what fucking 14, 15-year-old me was thinking, and I don't know how one card basically made me so confident that I would be so much better.
Because we were beat stick decks. We were just big monsters and trap cards.
Yeah, but like when
once
really
you put that down, it was like, well, fuck me.
Yeah, but you know what? Like at the end of the day, it's like it was still a 40-card deck. It could have been like the one thing that I didn't draw, and you know, nothing would have changed. Every duel that I had with this man, I have lost up until that point. Yes, and I was like, I went to my friend, like other than him, and I was like, if I get Jinzo, I am going to just be so much better. I'm gonna have my deck perfect and completed. I will be ready to duel him. And you were like, all right. And like
we went to this park.
Yeah,
we'll save it for a video. Let's just save it for an underground history video.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much said it. I'm just gonna say one.
There's way more to it.
But one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I beat him, he was just like, shit down. I'm not. And to be fair, I then proceeded to keep on winning and doing well. And I think in that moment, it wasn't about me. Like, I don't consider myself like being better than him in that moment, but I look at it like, now you look at me, and now I want you to know that I am your equal.
Respect me.
Yes. And I got that in that moment because I don't think he expected that from me. And that moment like gave me just a lot of confidence. I walked away from that game feeling so proud of myself that I was able to walk away with all those losses and walk away with a win and feeling like I had a moment. Like, I like that. One being, we brought Underground to online, and we got such a big influence out of it. Like, you know, we not only did we at one point in our heyday got like up to 40,000 subscribers doing Underground, we also
that year that we went from 10 to 30. Wow.
But I would also say another big thing was, I think for me at least, when we were doing Underground and we got to like, I guess like when we started hearing like a lot of the subscribers, especially when we left and came back, being like, oh, you guys helped me through such like difficult points in my life. Yeah. So many really meaningful conversations that people have put and just like said like, you know, you guys sometimes after me having a rough day, you know, like,
Yeah.
You guys were like my escape. And like sometimes I'm like thinking to myself, like, me and him have a great time, like off camera, on camera, like, so it's like sometimes, you know, we're just having a good time just being us.
Yeah.
So knowing that like just our positive energy made someone else feel positive and have a good day and maybe distract you from like a little bit of the bullshit that's going on in your life, made me, I think even you too, like made us like sit down and be like, we kind of affected people like indirectly, because that wasn't our intention. We're just having fun.
Yeah.
So knowing that we like made people's days and helped people in even the smallest of ways, I think I take a lot away out of that.
No, I definitely want to just and take that moment to say thank you again to all those people. Like, as much as like I understand that you guys have messaged us and said thank you, you guys helped me through dark times, you guys helped me through my depression. I remember like you guys also helped me. Like I said, that 2013 year when we were like on the rise, I think when we were getting to 10,000, like between 10,000 and 30,000, somewhere I think it might have been between the 5 and the 10.
Yeah.
It took us a year to go from 5 to 10, and then it took us another year to go from 10 to 30. So I just remember during that period of time that my grandfather had passed away. I lost a dog. My girlfriend, like, was bad breakup. It was really, really dark times for me. So even though just being on that camera and getting that emotional, creative outlet out, the fact of like you guys watching made me feel like something that I'm passionate about was doing good. So it was like I feel like we work together.
Konami gave me my ace deck. Like when I say that, like I feel like throughout me, of this man knowing me, I've always been talking about zodiac signs, blah, 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 blah. For them to make an archetype based off zodiac signs and actually fit my personality, and the playstyle was also, yet again, very up my alley, I was able to, because up until that point, I really never had a definitive deck.
True. That's very true.
And I feel like getting them, I felt like gave me like a big chunk of identity. And it's so weird because up until like I want to say, you know, the end of 5Ds, you know, that at that point Yu-Gi-Oh was more on its decline and people were falling off the grid when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh. So at most people's ends of the game, that was like the birth of like a big part of me, because that was like the introduction to that archetype for me and changed everything. And I love that archetype more than anything. So I really, really am happy that I was given that.
I really want to say that I think it's interesting how you just told your story about it. Like, I like hearing other people's story when they found that one deck that was like, it connected with them personally from their own outside personal interest. That Yu-Gi-Oh! Because mind you, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really creative in the fact that it makes a lot of archetypes based on outside influences and references that they put in the game. So whenever they do kind of, you know, tackle in and chime in or tap into a person's personal interest that draws them into the game, I like hearing those stories.
Number 2 was completing my ultimate collection goal, which is that I wanted to get the complete set of the match winners, and I wanted a real one. And I got all the match winners all the way from Testament all the way to the most recent set of match winners, and I also got like E-Star Hero Pit Boss as like my signature most expensive card. Like I cannot believe
How
that.
much does that card cost? 12. Over $10,000.
Yes.
Over $10,000 for a Yu-Gi-Oh card, and he has it.
Getting, I want to say, Pit Boss and getting the other match winners was such a significant moment for me that like I felt like I was so like happy and proud that I was able to get such like a, because you know what it is, it's like that was also something that I feel like nobody ever had. I've never seen anybody ever come close to, I think there's maybe one other person that I think I've ever seen online that ever had those.
And I got it from him.
No, I had
How many copies of it have they ever made of that?
Of what, Pit Boss?
Yeah.
So Pit Boss was a leaked copy, so I want to say maybe around 20 copies
Wow.
in the whole world.
Wow.
So
That's still crazy.
Yeah, I know.
20.
I wouldn't have the close friends I have today if it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like this man, I feel deep down, I would not be the same person I am today if it wasn't for knowing him. And, you know, he's my closest friend, and I feel like I had met other friends through this game that I also hold dearly, and I feel like, but I'm going to just use him for an example since he's, you know him. Now, I'll say this, like for, like Spidey for an example, like, there have been many highs and lows in my life, and not even Yu-Gi-Oh related. Not only did I feel like I learned a lot from you, I feel like I've also grew so much as a person thanks to you. And I feel like, at least through my perspective, I have to have it all come back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because if, because if I didn't have that slight introduction, you and me would have probably just went off to different, back to John Asman, but never talk, and and I would, I would have just been a completely different person if it wasn't for this little minuscule game, like connecting me to certain people. So, like, growing up, I didn't really have a great connection to, like, either of my parents, and, like, the person that raised me was, like, my grandmother, and she was, like, my mom, and I always knew, especially, she was also my great-grandmother, so, like, I knew I wasn't going to hang on to her forever, and I was going to lose her at one point, and I did not live near her anymore. When I remembered when she passed, I was a disaster. I was very upset, very hurt, and I remembered this man, without any hesitation, drove all the way down to go get me and bring me back home just so I could grieve with my asshole family. And basically, but just that level of just this man's selflessness, I am just so grateful to have, like, the people I have in my life. And like I said, it's just sometimes so, like, meaningful that, like, I have these moments. Because, like even just, like, hanging out with you, just, like, having a good time on camera, just having fun, I wouldn't have that, like, if it wasn't for this stupid game.
I know, yeah.
So, I would just want to say,
all right.
I appreciate and I'm happy to have you in my life.
Yes, same.
So, these are my proudest moments and accomplishments in this game.
I'm his proudest moment. I'm so glad I can make you a high school dropout.
Thank you, Shinbo Pueblo. Thank you. So I hope you guys all have a great time. Enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my 2 previous videos. Check out my Instagram where I feature my rare cards. And
I'm laughing because I'm like, in my mind, if this video doesn't do well, I know you. You'll be like, you fucking don't give a fuck about me or my story. I ain't giving them nothing anymore. I'll never open up on camera again. Fuck the channel.
It's like, you want to see me making nasty top 10s?
If this shit don't hit like 1,000 or 1,100 views, he's gonna be pissed. But yeah, his Instagram, Master Duel IDs, Discord is all in the description down below. Check all those things out. 2 previous videos. See you guys next time.
Bye.